Welcome to our final panel discussion here on the Get Into stage, and it promises to be a good one. I'd say we've saved the best to last, so I hope you're all going to really enjoy this one. It's called Fintech Unlocked, Guiding the Next Fintech Generation. Now, this session is all about empowering the next generation of financial investors. I'm sure some of them are in the room here today. You are some of them. So we're going to dive into the world of fintech and uncover some of the opportunities that are there in terms of professional services, insurance, legal, tech, and so much more. So lots to get through today. We have a fantastic chair for our panel this afternoon. Our chair is Sarah Williams-Gardner, who is the CEO of Fintech Wales, which is the yes, that's what we like to hear. Or we like a bit of whooping, so any time through the session, give it some whoops. So for those of you who don't know, Fintech Wales is a not-for-profit membership organisation for the fintech and financial services industries here in Wales. Sarah herself has had a fantastic career in tech, and she was also the founder of the Starling Bank. So lots of knowledge from Sarah, but also from all of our panel here. So please put your hands together and welcome Sarah and our panel to the stage.
So thank you very much, but let's just correct that. I was not the founder, and if the founder heard that, I would be dead. I was part of the founding team, so the first 4 people that started the bank and decided in a coffee shop that banking was broken and that we could do a better job. Well, that was one big journey that we set upon. Building a bank is no mean feat, let me tell you. But very proud that we did do that, and more proud that that bank has grown and its largest office and its largest number of employees doing the smartest part of its work is in the heart of Cardiff. So these are great opportunities for people in this region. Many people look at Cardiff as a place to bring their customer support and their operations. Firstly, I'd say the people who support customers know the product the best, and they are the most valuable people to any business. But Starling has not only done that, it's brought all of its fraud detection, it's brought all of its risk function, and that's using AI and machine learning at the absolute frontier of where those technologies are going. So they're doing the best work, the smartest work in the centre of Cardiff. And the reason they're doing that is because the talent is here. The talent is in Cardiff. And part of what we are going to be talking about is why you want to get into this industry, and more importantly, how you can get into this industry. So I am joined by an amazing panel, awesome people, doers, people who make things happen. And anyone who's been on teams of mine, we are doers, we're not talkers. As we say, we like to create change, not chat. So it's a pleasure to introduce them. I'm going to introduce you all. Give me a sentence about what you do, and then we'll start talking about why and how we're all connected and where the passion that we all share is coming from. So first of all, Leanne, are you happy do you want to grab a mic? And if someone else grabs one, we're going to pass these around. So are you happy just to introduce yourself, your role, what you do at the awesome place that you work?
Yeah, no problem at all. So I'm Leanne Waring. I'm Business Development Manager at Cardiff and Vale College. So Cardiff and Vale College, we are the largest college in Wales, the 3rd largest college in the UK, and we're teaching 33,000 learners every academic year. So we're quite a beast of a college. Now, part of my responsibility is I sit within a pivotal role between academia, industry and the community. So I manage a team of business sector specialists that each specialise in the Welsh Government priority growth sectors. So what we look to do is engage with individual organisations, but also very much engage with the sector as a whole. So identifying skills gaps, opportunities and challenges to how we can help support. So both shaping the curriculum of what we're teaching now to those 33,000 learners, but also very much about creating short and sharp interventions that we can help with skills gap that exists today, tomorrow, and then in the future. Sorry, bigger than a sentence. I'm now come up for air. So that's me done. Lovely to see you all.
Yeah, so that's fantastic. So Cardiff and Vale is a brave college. They're prepared to do things differently, and they're prepared to react to the industry. So it was our pleasure to partner with Cardiff and Vale on something that we're going to come on to talk about, which was the boot camps that we have been doing. But let me introduce you, or ask Sarah to introduce herself, because you came through a different program that we ran. So Sarah, do you want to introduce yourself, the company you work for, and the work you're doing, and then we'll come on to the programs afterwards, if that's all right.
My name's Sarah Chick. I'm a junior software engineer, and I work for an investment company called Wealthify, which is based in Penarth. I've only been doing the job for 2 months. So, yes, my path there was a little bit different, maybe just the way I can see some young faces here, what you may be considering. So, but previous to this, I worked in the NHS for 30 years as a sonographer. So that's my background.
Thank you very much for that. And Amar, so again, I'm going to come on to the programs in a minute, but introduce yourself and your business. So this is a business, this is a name you need to know. This is a name you need to know if you travel anywhere around the globe. And tell us why, Amar.
So guys, my name is Amar. I'm the founder and CEO of Finalrentals. So we are a platform for local car hire companies who wants to become digital. And we are exporting our technology from Penarth offices next to Wealthify to 31 countries around the world. And I'm committed to work with young talent in Cardiff and to nurture them if they want to join the tech side of the business. So that's what we do.
Thank you very much. So each one of these colleagues and esteemed panelists that I've got here represent the work that Fintech Wales does. So Fintech Wales, as was said in the introduction, we're a not-for-profit organisation, and our role is to give a convening voice for the fintech, finance, insurtech and insurance industries in Wales. So we work with all of those businesses, and we understand from them what they need at different steps in the journey of their growth. So Amar, you landed in Cardiff. You arrived at the train station, and then you headed straight into our program, which was the Fintech Foundry. He literally came off the train straight to the first day of our Fintech Foundry program. Our Fintech Foundry program was 12 weeks. It was very intense. It was to take starting businesses, introduce them to the ecosystem. And what was your impact from that day to where you are now, which is is it just over 9 months?
So it's almost like 14 months now. So it's not just Cardiff station. It was Gdańsk airport in Poland, 3 a.m. flight to Stansted, and you land at Stansted. You go to Liverpool Street. From there you take a train to Paddington. Then from there you come to Cardiff. So it was like a long journey. The moment I landed at Cardiff, it was around 8 a.m. to join the program, and every place has a vibe, right? So the moment I came out of station, I said, "This is my home. That's it." That was a feeling. This is my home, and that's my Silicon Valley. And if it's not, I'll make one. And then went into the program. Met all these amazing people. Met Sarah for the first time ever. We had specialized Welsh cakes, that we had on day one. Still remember. And since then, I have never really looked back. This is my home. Working with young talent every day, adding more partners around the world. We are the largest exporter of tech from Cardiff, if you count the number of locations around the world. So I think it has been, how should I say, a blitzscaling crazy journey so far.
And you can absolutely not fault Amar's energy and enthusiasm. So landing in Cardiff, I've obviously been telling this story for a while, because I think when I started telling it, it was 9 months. But from landing in Cardiff, I think the most important part of this story is you landed in Cardiff. You had a couple of colleagues who were on the same Global Entrepreneur Programme. They landed, I want to say, in Birmingham. 9 months after they landed, they were still trying to work out who to talk to. Amar had raised his first funding and was employing his staff and starting his business. That is the difference between starting a business and staying in Cardiff with the collaborative ecosystem that we have. So we're terribly proud to have him. I'm really proud because he managed to find me a hire car when I went on holiday. And every other company told me that they couldn't get me one. And if you ever are traveling abroad and you're wanting a hire car, this guy's service, he tracked me on my plane. He knew when I'd landed. He knew when I was in my car. So the service is absolutely the most important thing that you that you stand for. But let's hold on that, because I want to bring Leanne in, because one of the problems that we were hearing from people in the Welsh region, not just Cardiff, because we serve the whole of the Welsh region, was that you can't get the skills and talent. There were lots of people talking about we can't get the skills and talent. Lots of people were talking about it for a long time. We've got Gemma Hallett in the audience, the famous Gemma Hallett, who had also been looking at these challenges. And we just sat there one day with Leanne, with Gemma, and just went, oh, let's just do it. I'm on a stage. I won't talk as I would in the office. Let's just do it. So we stopped talking about it. We got some employers together. We worked out what the skill shortage was. Leanne and her team, along with some private providers, actually put the course together, and we just did it. So take it from there, Leanne. What did you have to do in the college? Because you're a mover and shaker.
Absolutely. And as we've all said, it's about making things happen. It's about doing things and making a difference and learning from it. So we all sat around a table and decided that, one of the key things that we were hearing time and time again from employers was they had vacancies they couldn't fill. So that's, again, longer term, that's great and we can work with that. But what can we do now? What can we do today to make that difference? So what we did is we created a number of workshops that we had employers from the fintech and tech sector, all different sizes, some larger and names that you would know, other smaller and just startups, and looked at the specific requirements. In effect, as a college, what we did is ask them, what is your wish list? So with these job vacancies that you have, that you're struggling to recruit, what sort of people do you want? What soft skills do they need? What's the minimum technical skills that they need? And then what we were able to do from that is compile that together and create a program which was specific and fit for purpose at that time for the sector. What you were then able to do is to align funding to that. So we were able to deliver this 10-week intensive program specific to the industry needs that they wanted for individuals, in addition to aligning funding to help and support. So what we want to do and still remain doing is ensure that the opportunities that we create for the sector are as inclusive as possible. So we can give as many individuals the opportunity for them to get involved. So we were able to pay individuals to go onto the course, able to support with childcare, with food cost, with travel, to really try and reduce some of those barriers. We also had a number of employer engagement points throughout that. So they came in, and Amar will know because he was involved with one of the coding academies that we delivered, and actually talked to the individuals and the cohorts on there about the opportunities that exist, about fintech as a sector. And then they were guaranteed live interviews then at the end. Again, there was no responsibility of the individual or pressure on the individual to have to go for them, or pressure of the employer to employ. But it's about bringing like-minded people with the right skills within that area for the employers.
So it's really important that through this course, part of our role in that was making sure that people like Amar were able to talk to students. Because if you're doing a 10-week course, you want to know why you're doing it. You're learning some new skills. These things are quite tough. You need to be motivated. So having businesses, having entrepreneurs coming and sharing their journey, getting to know you, they're the people at the end of the day who will be interviewing at the end, and motivating you to the why. Why are you doing these things? What is it that you're learning? What difference will you be able to make to the world when you get a job in this industry? And fintech is an industry. It's ubiquitous. We're using this word fintech. It's not something that stands on its own. It runs through many solutions that we have across the world, across the UK, and across many different sectors. And we will invite anybody to join our membership if they've got some sort of finance that's running through it. And let's be fair, everything we do, we have to pay for. So it's a very, very collective industry. So we've got Leanne with her forward-thinking college, and I'm grateful, really pleased to say, having run those boot camps, and we ran them with Leanne, you shared that knowledge, and they went out to some other colleges. This is a very collaborative environment that we have.
Absolutely.
The overall success of that program was that 81% of the people who took part got a job, right? Just listen at that. 81% of people who were not in employment or being underemployed because of their skills or wanting to retrain and come back into the industry, 81% were employed. And that's because we guaranteed them an interview. Now, Leanne was very good and said, there's no pressure, you don't have to go. You damn well should, right? You will not be guaranteed to get through the paperwork of some of the big employers that we work with ever as easily as we do it. I've got my team sitting down on the front row here, and they make sure that people come to those. And we're talking PwC, we're talking Deloitte, we're talking Hodgebank, we're talking Finalrentals. So some of the really entrepreneurial businesses, as well as the big ones, you would not get in front of them through any other route as well as you would through this. So Leanne's promoting that. We're helping to make it work. But and by the way, Amar, you've employed how many people from this now?
3.
3. So tell us about the people you've employed. And then, Sarah, I'm going to come to you because we did a different training route with yourself. But tell us about the people that you've employed. Why did you employ them? What were you looking for?
So when we move our headquarters to Cardiff, the sort of first question for me was, will I get the talent here? Because I was coming from Dubai, from Poland, from Turkey, from Pakistan, and you have this great tech talent in those countries. So when I met the data cohort, the data science cohort, we had these speed interviews, and I was able to understand that many of the guys who have some know-how about technology and they want to switch the job because they are interested, genuinely interested. Because technology is something that if you study it from the books, you will never be able to do anything, on the computer. It's like it should come from inside. Like you really want to do it. It's like an art. I see tech as art, to be honest. If you do not feel inside, every hair of your body doesn't code that code, it will not be the best code. So I met some people from the cohort, and some of them were fantastic people, great attitude. They already knew a lot from the academy. They learned, and they were ready to just get on the desk and face some challenges and then get on a full-time job. So I was looking for that kind of talent, and we were able to find 3 incredible people. And all 3 of them now are working full-time in our company, handling one of the 31 countries or more, and basically doing the job like any expert would do. They went through our program. It's a 90-day program. It's an award-winning 90-day program that can give you a full-time job. And we are even now creating more opportunities from our different programs, whether it's tech, data, AI, and also sales.
And the thing we love about working with Amar is he keeps challenging us. So, yes, you've done a data science course. I want a digital skills course. I want this skills. And so this is great to be able to feed back into the colleges. I just want to come back to the 81% and the success of those pilots that we ran, because that instigated a tender that went out a couple of months ago now, and 4.37 million pounds has been awarded to the Cardiff region. And we can't say who's won it, but there is a collection of colleges who will be repeating what we've talked about to deliver this bigger, better, and more consistently. So if there is anyone here who's thinking about fintech and coming into the industry, then these courses will soon be advertised and you will have the opportunity to do that. But Sarah, I want to come to you because we partnered with Quarateg. Quarateg, which I have to say, really sadly closed its doors last week, is the gender equality organisation that has been in Wales for over 20 years, but very sadly has not got the funding. But Fintech Wales has taken the baton on to make sure that we continue to train women in tech and bring more women into tech. So this is giving people the opportunity to upskill and change industries. And we actually feel a little bit bad about you changing industry because we didn't really want to take people from the NHS. However, your skills have been transferable, and you did the Code First Girls program with us. Are you happy to share a little bit about why, when you saw that, you wanted to do it, and secondly, what you've learned and how you're applying that in Wealthify?
Yeah, so I worked for the NHS for 30 years, and working in the public sector is great, but by my mid-30s, I just wasn't finding my job challenging at all anymore. And I was very keen to work in tech, but I was working full time. I had 3 children. A career change is actually very difficult when you're earning a certain amount of money. But as the years went by, I decided I really wanted to give it a good go. And I tried self-teaching myself. So there's lots of videos on YouTube, taught myself a bit of C# and then some Python. And I drew myself like a plan saying, if I learn this and then this and then this, and if I try and get some work experience, maybe in 20 years, I'll be in a position to get a job. And it started to feel a bit hopeless, really. And actually, I've always kept a diary all my life. And I looked back at some of my entries I put in August last year. And one of them said, I really want to work in tech, but it's a bit hopeless. And then in September, I came across Code First Girls. So I was just doing a Google search and I signed up to do a Python course. It's only an 8-week course. It was great. Really enjoyed it. Fit it in around work, did it in the evenings. And I partnered with another woman called Val to do a project. And we were just chatting one day and she was saying that she was going to apply for the degree. Had I thought about it? And I said I'd seen it, but it's not for me. I don't have enough knowledge. I'm 51. I mean, I know I'm great, but unfortunately, society does look on older people sometimes in not a great way, and they're never going to want me. And she was like, well, what have you got to lose? I just thought, it's completely true, nothing to lose. So I went through the process, got on, got offered a job that as long as I was successful, during the course, I would have a job. And here I am, working for Wealthify, and eternally grateful to Chwarae Teg and Wealthify for giving me this opportunity, because I never thought it would happen. But actually, I can see how my NHS work has helped in my job, because coding, it obviously is very technical, but you do need some soft skills as well. You do need to be able to communicate well with people. You do need to be able to work as a team, and all those things I feel I'm really bringing to my new job in Wealthify. Plus, I'm feeling challenged again, which is great.
So one of the reasons why we were really keen to partner with Chwarae Teg and Code First Girls and bring this program to our members is that these things are very, very expensive to do. And if you work for a large corporate organisation, you can spend the 60, 70, 80,000 pounds that it will cost to put people on these courses. But by collaborating, by Fintech Wales bringing its membership together, we could do this for our members, and Wealthify is one of them. Wealthify has been growing in the Cardiff area now for, I think you're about 8 years old, aren't you?
Yeah.
8 years old. It was founded by an amazing entrepreneur called Richard Theo, who is a Cardiff-based individual. And if you want to join his journey again, he's building a new bank in Cardiff, if you like that exciting ride, and will be recruiting. But he brought Wealthify to the marketplace because it democratized savings. And this is the one thing that Fintech is doing. It's making things available to the masses that weren't available before. And why is it important that we've got people like yourself, Sarah, and the wider breadth of diversity in the Wealthify team actually building those products? It's so that they will build the products with diverse mindsets. There'll be women coding those programs. There'll be people with neurodiversity. There'll be people with social economic diversity. And when you get all of these diversities in one group, you develop a product that is fit for everybody. And that's the one thing that I think is, I can't remember your strap line, and I've put you on the line, put you on the spot there. Can you remember, what does Wealthify, how does it market itself? Is it?
You really have. I'm afraid I'm
going to bail you out, because I think Wealthify is it's about investing for all. You can start with £1. Now, who would have thought you could start investing with £1? And the one thing that we need to do, you do. Okay, you must work there. But if we can all start saving, we'll be in a much better place when we hit the next cost of living crisis, right? People who haven't got any savings, and I could go on about the stats to do with that, but there's something like 7 million people in the UK who've got less than £50 in savings. less than £50 in savings. So that is phenomenal. If you could just add £1 to that every week, you could double your savings in a year. That would be really impactful and make a big difference to people. So we've been told we've got a few minutes to go. I'm not going to open to questions. That's not because we don't want them, but I'm really mindful that many people don't like asking the questions from the audience. So everybody here is going to stay. And if you've got a question, you can come and ask them directly. But just to wrap up, I'm going to ask them to give me one pithy sentence, which is why it's not why would you come into fintech? Why wouldn't they come into fintech?
I work multi-sector, as I've said, and this is definitely one of the most welcoming, loving, hug, arm around you coach industry that you can work in. They celebrate diversity, they celebrate hard work. There are so many different opportunities because it is so fast-paced. It is a brilliant sector to work in.
I worked for the NHS for 30 years, and I have never felt so welcomed and cared for. One of the questions I got asked to interview for Wealthify was, how would I feel about changing from the public sector to the private sector? Would that make me feel a bit uncomfortable? And I said I was happy with it, but I didn't realise how happy I was going to be with it. This is the first time in 30 years that someone asks me, how are you feeling? Are you happy at work? Everybody join fintech. It's a better life, I promise you.
So yeah, it is rewarding, and I know many people in Wales who want to change course of their career, like Sarah did. Amazing. And I know that many of you want to change, right? So the starting point is here. Join the academies, right? You'll get to meet us, many people like me, who will give you the right option, the right path. And it is possible. Many people are doing that. You can also do that. Come join the tech revolution here.
Now, what is wrong with that? We party hard, so why wouldn't you come? We're welcoming with a coach, and we're innovating, and we're making a difference. So Fintech Wales is on a mission to create so much talent in Wales that we actually export it. So do join us on this journey. This is a fabulous industry, and it is happening first in Wales. So what have you got to lose?
Well, that was such an incredibly inspiring way to finish our 3 days. There were so many great take-homes from that. Not only that there's lots of talent here in Wales, which is great, but there are opportunities and on a global scale, and it's never too late to take those opportunities. But I think for me, the one real take-home was to take action, and we can all do that. So I hope you've been inspired by our panel today and about all our panelists over the last 3 days. I'd just like to say thank you to all of our audiences, all our panels, all our speakers, and also all the partners here for this 3-day event. It brings the Get Into stage to a close for today, but hopefully next year you'll be involved with Tech Wales Week. I can see some nods in the back, so that's always great to say. So all that's left for me to say is to please put your hands together one final time for our panel of Amar, Sarah, Leanne, and Sarah. Sorry. I'm going to do that again because I totally messed that up. We'll do it one more time. So for all of our panel, big, big thank you.